On December 18, 2025, Crisis Response Canines. How one FBI dog helped victims heal and communities rebuild trust for more than a decade. An English Labrador named Giovanni, known affectionately as Gio, has played a quiet but powerful role in helping victims of violent crime cope with trauma, fear, and loss. As one of the FBI's first crisis response canines, Gio's work has helped shape a national model for victim-centered support during some of the most painful moments in recent U.S. history. Gio joined the FBI's Crisis Response Canine Pilot Program in 2015. Since then, alongside fellow canine Wally and a team of trained handlers, the program has grown into a cornerstone of the Bureau's victim assistance efforts. Now 12 years old, Gio is set to retire at the end of this year after completing more than 140 deployments nationwide, supporting victims during national tragedies. Throughout his career, Gio has been deployed to major mass violence scenes, including the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando and the elementary school shooting in Texas. At these locations, his role was not investigative but human, providing comfort to victims, witnesses, and families in moments of shock and grief. Together, Gio and Wally have supported more than 4,100 victims and family members. According to FBI Victim Services Assistant Director Shohini Sinha, the presence of crisis response canines often transforms how victims engage with investigators. These dogs help victims feel calm, safe, and confident enough to share their experiences, Sinha said. People who are initially afraid or hesitant are often able to open up, which helps both our healing process and our ability to hold offenders accountable. Science behind the comfort research shows that physical contact with dogs can trigger the release of oxytocin, a hormone linked to reduced stress and increased feelings of trust. This chemical response can help victims process traumatic experiences more effectively and reduce the likelihood of long-term psychological harm. By sitting quietly with victims, allowing them to pet or lean against him, Gio helped create a sense of stability during moments of extreme emotional distress, breaking new ground in the courtroom. One of Gio's most significant contributions came in a federal courtroom, where he became the first facility dog allowed to accompany a victim during testimony. The witness, a young adult who had endured severe trauma, initially struggled to speak while facing her attacker. As Gio pressed against her legs and later rested his head in her lap, the witness gradually gained confidence. Over the course of more than an hour on the stand, her voice grew steadier and stronger. By the end of her testimony, she was able to fully share her account, setting a precedent for the use of crisis canines in sensitive legal settings. A partnership built on Trust Gio's handler Melody Tittle of the FBI's Victim Services Division, recalls recognizing his unique temperament from their first meeting. The FBI partnered with Assistance Dogs of the West in New Mexico to select the dogs, and Gio stood out immediately for his calm demeanor even as a young dog surrounded by children. For the past 10 years, Melody and Gio have worked side by side. She describes her role as staying invisible behind the leash, allowing Gio to focus entirely on comforting those in need. She calls working with him the highlight of her career. Full circle at Pulse nightclub, Gio's impact extended far beyond initial crisis response. In early 2025, Gio returned to the Pulse nightclub site with Wally and the victim services team to support survivors and families during a final visit before the building. One survivor recognized Gio from 2016 and expressed how meaningful it was to see him again. For many, walking through the site with the crisis canines present helped ease lingering guilt and self-doubt carried since the attack. Gio's presence offered reassurance not only in the immediate aftermath of tragedy, but years later, during the long process of healing. Growing the program. Following the success of the pilot program, the FBI expanded its crisis canine team in April 2025 with the addition of 2 golden Labradors, Taz and Peg. Stationed in the Atlanta and Dallas field offices, they are positioned to respond quickly to future incidents. Our goal is to have dogs available across the country so we can respond rapidly and begin the healing process as soon as possible, Sinha said. Honoring the legacy, on December 9th, Gio and Melody were formally honored at a ceremony at FBI headquarters. FBI Assistant Deputy Director Chad Yarbo praised Gio's service, thanking him on behalf of the Bureau and the nation. As Gio retires, he will remain with Melody, who plans to adopt him. Though his once black coat has faded to gray, his gentle presence remains unchanged. Gio will now spend his days resting at home, enjoying fresh air, and occasionally chasing squirrels, a peaceful next chapter after years of extraordinary service. Thank you for watching. Likes, share, and subscribe for more update from us.